Didn't see you there. Why don't you come on closer? No? I'll do it for you. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is just going to be another movie review on the internet. Nope. This is a different kind of review because it is from your number one statistician for anything and everything animation. Now, I don't want to brag or nothing, but I think the 1,000+ subscribers speaks for itself. But I can see how you think that I am not qualified enough to be among the elites. And so what if I'm some ragtag guy that does pretty much all this stuff on his own? Well, power of technology still says I at least have a shot, so what the hell. Let's do it. And now I'm going to re-review a movie. Why is it a re-review? Because the original review aged very badly. So, let's do it right this time, shall we? What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Mr. Station, which is for everything animation, including TV and movies. I'm your host, Jackson Small. Welcome to my review of one of my personal favorite Dreamworks movies, The Bad Guys. One of the only movies that was in contention with Sonic Movie 2 for the best movie of 2022. Yes, this movie's that amazing, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, I'll admit, maybe I was a little bit too high on it in my original review, giving it, an 11, I believe? But I'm not going to drop my score that much lower, because this film, it's still really damn good. Even now, it is so bad it's good. And I mean that as in the characters are bad and then they become good. You know what I mean. You know me, I like my bad puns. So, without further ado or delay, let's dive straight into The Bad Guys and why it is still an awesome movie and why I have my hopes very, very high for Bad Guys 2. I have not seen it yet. I hope to see it soon. I'm super freaking excited. So, before we cover the sequel, though, we gotta cover the original. So, here's my written review. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, because I don't want to waste too much of your time. Here we go. Today's a good day, because I got to rewatch one of my personal favorites of 2022, and my favorite film from Dreamworks' very short-lived renaissance. This being this, and Puss in Boots 2: The Last Wish, and then they decide to meteorite themselves off of a cliff. Literally nuke themselves in a crater and go back to doing the same thing that a lot of people were constantly complaining about. And with what they have upcoming, it's probably not going to get any better. Well, at least the Dragons remake was good. And I'm ecstatic to say that even 3 years later, The Bad Guys is still so damn good. Animation is incredible and frantic. It's hyper-stylized, it's very, very distinct and unique, and yes, it is taking some inspiration from Spider-Verse, like a grand majority of animated movies do nowadays, but oh man, does this one just stand out on its pure franticness. There is so much energy through every single movement that it will blow your mind if you try to do it frame by frame and recapture every single little transition. It's insane how good the animation is in this movie. Characters are amazing in both design and personality, especially Mr. Wolf, who is full of charm and suave. All the characters, love them. Every single one of them. I love Mr. Shark, I love Mr. Snake, I love Mr. Piranha, I love Mr. Wolf, and I love Webbs, or Miss Tarantula, whatever you want to call her. The voice acting is fantastic, all across the board, from Sam Rockwell, to Craig Robinson, to Anthony Ramos, to Zazie Beetz, and even Awkwafina in by far her best role. Yes, this is one of the only times where Awkwafina being in the cast is actually a positive. Very rare occurrence when that happens. Storytelling, while predictable, is very well done. It is still a very good story. It's a greatly told story, It's a greatly told story, but it is predictable. And we're going to talk about that more when we get to the cons. So, it's not really breaking any barriers, but it's doing a really good job sticking to the tried and true formula. Because, hey, Why fix what ain't broken, right? Humor is hilarious, especially the slapstick. Every single moment in this movie, I was laughing. Whether it was the snarkiness of Wolf when he's camaraderie with a bunch of other characters, to the goofy facial expressions, to the frantic character slapstick. Like, the humor in this movie is so damn good. Like, literally the only one that doesn't work is the whole running thing, gag thing they have with Piranha. That's literally the only joke in this movie that doesn't work. Alright, moving on. Writing is very sharp and self-aware. It's a movie that knows what it is and just has fun. It wants to be cool, it wants to be fast, it wants to be energetic, and it just wants to not take itself seriously, just be something wild and crazy. And it does that in spades. It literally starts with Wolf breaking the fourth wall. How more self-aware can you get? Unless you're Deadpool. The tone is lighthearted fun with a slightly dark edge. Specifically towards the back half, it gets a little dark. But it's not dark. It's not too dark for kids. We're not talking about like Black Cauldron or anything like that. It is... it has a slight dark edge, but it's mostly very lighthearted, goofy fun. And some of the jokes are adults, which is nice. Its messages about good and bad are still relevant. You'd think they wouldn't be, but somehow they are, even now. And that's both great and sad. Runtime is perfect, not too long, not too brief, just right. Doesn't overstay its welcome. It's great. The music is awesome. This movie's music is so good. It feels like something right out of a classic heist movie. And I mean, this is kind of a classic heist movie in its own right. But I mean like the really old heist movies from like way back in the day. That's what the soundtrack reminded me of. And of course, the one vocal track we get in here, Good Tonight, from Anthony Ramos and Daniel Pemberton, is really good too. Love that song. Very, very good song. Action is phenomenal. The action in this movie is some of Dreamworks' best, plain and simple. Pacing is lightning fast, but doesn't rush anything, and rewatchability is beyond high. Like, I have rewatched this movie almost as much as I've rewatched the first two Shrek films. If you know me, that is saying a lot. However, that being said, not a perfect heist, so we gotta take the cool guy glasses off for a minute so we can talk about the flaws, because there are some. They're minor, but they're still there, so we gotta talk about them. The story is predictable. Like, every single beat in this story you can see coming from a mile away. Even the so-called twist villain reveal is very, very predictable and easy to figure out. The villain sucks. I'm sorry, the villain in this movie sucks. Nothing against the voice actor, but this is definitely on the lower tier of DreamWorks villains, and he is by far the worst part of the movie. Like, without a doubt, by far the worst part of the movie. And even then, he's not that bad, but he is bad. He is a bad villain. And I mean that as in he is actually bad. Not so bad he's good like the bad guys. Oh my god. I am so bad with my bad puns, aren't I? And I think I just said bad more times than I ever have in my life. So I'm going to move on before I make myself look even more like an ass. And there are a few jokes that are low-hanging fruit. What's Piranha's big running gag throughout this movie? That he has really bad farts when he's nervous. I'm sorry, that's just not funny. You could have made it funny, but it's not funny. Sorry. But when the rest of the film is this good, I'm willing to look past it. Like I said, all these flaws, they are very minor, and they don't bother the experience one bit. Sure, the villain may be bad, but the rest of the characters are more than enough to carry it. Sure, the running gag of Piranha sucks, but then you have the hilarious running gag of Wolf when he tries to use a grappling hook and it keeps ripping off his pants. Or Snake's whole running gag about being obsessed with guinea pigs that leads to one of the darkest jokes in the movie. Or Mr. Shark being a little bit too dedicated to his role and acting like a pregnant woman giving birth. It's just too funny, man. This movie's just too funny. The Bad Guys is a rewatchable, charming, funny, stylized, and incredibly energetic heist movie that has only gotten better with every single revisit. In other words, who knew being bad could look this good? And that is why its final verdict is still a well-deserved 10 out of 10. I don't care if I'm the only one that gives it this score. A lot of people think this movie's just solid, and I can understand. But this right here, it's still, in my opinion, one of the best movies DreamWorks has ever done, and at this rate are ever going to do. Oh, and don't ask me about the Halloween and Christmas shorts thing that's supposed to lead into a TV series. I watched them. They're not great, and they don't deserve to have the branding. So, just pretend those two shorts don't exist, watch the original, and absolutely go watch the sequel. And from what I've heard, it's already making bank at the box office, despite Superman and Fantastic Four still being in theaters. If that doesn't show how strong of a new franchise this one is, I don't know what will. But that's going to do it for this review now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. And stay tuned, because hopefully, sooner rather than later, I will get to see Bad Guys 2 and review it for you. So, until then, this has been another Animation Station review, and I'll see you next time. Take care, Stat Squad. Jackson.